We're going to record. It is 10:18. It's Tuesday too. Here's what I know, Bob, is that we've got some things in the editing bay right now, and that is the Martin Luther King Commission, the ribbon cutting. We're still piecing together some of the audio, making sure it matches. You weren't there, but there was a fire emergency. We were in the fire truck bay. There was an emergency.
I heard.
The firefighters were running out in the middle of it, so we're splicing some of it together.
I think that's great. Hey, that's what life is all about, the unexpected. Here we go.
That's in the editing bay, but coming up this week, let's talk. Okay, I've got the first one. It is Chamber of Commerce Week in Arkansas. You might have seen on our LinkedIn, we shared some stuff, a picture with the governor and the state chamber, and a picture with us and Judge Robert Hathaway and Mayor Jared Jackson. Tremendous supporters of us here at the chamber and of our economic development mission. And so we're happy to proclaim this week as Chamber of Commerce Week.
And that's what we're about, Chambers of Commerce. So, it was a good opportunity. And today at our board meeting on Tuesday, October the 19th, we did our regular business, but we had the opportunity to have Ron Hutchcraft with us today. Ron announced to the board of directors the major project that he's had in works now for several months, and that's the development and recent groundbreaking for the On Eagle's Wings Leadership Center.
Tomorrow, Wednesday, at 2 o'clock is the ribbon cutting with Risley Architects. So you'll find that on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, anywhere that you keep up with us here at the Chamber. And thank you for keeping up with us here at the Chamber. You'll find that ribbon cutting of Risley Architects.
And if I'm correct, Wilson, isn't that 6 in 2 weeks?
That is, yeah, I think so.
That's just amazing. Tim Risley and his team are great community supporters, so we're happy to have them join as investors. And then Thursday, I'm sorry, I was going to say tomorrow, but it is Thursday afternoon.
I messed you up, sorry.
At 4:30, we're going to be treated to Business After Hours by Southern Airways, and you're going to hear all about that from Keith Sisson, the Vice President of Marketing, coming up right now.
So, Keith, thanks for joining us this week on what we call This Week at the Chamber. Keith, you're the CMO, the Chief Marketing Officer for Southern Airways. Tell us about, so we got the Business After Hours coming up with y'all. So tell me real quick, if I can just take a little tangent. We were talking about this right before we hit record, but the deal with the Ole Miss Arkansas bet, and you're not the guy that makes the bet, but of course there's some marketing pieces around it. So tell me about, do you know much of the history there? And we can cut this out if you don't.
I know all of the history there, probably more so than Judy at the airport wants me to divulge at this particular time. So here's what's going on. Our airline was started in 2013 by myself and Stan Little. We met while he was in law school at Ole Miss and I was an undergrad. So we are both Ole Miss rebels.
Oh, no.
When we came across the contract in Harrison, we had known Judy for quite some time, even before we started operating the Essential Air Service contract for Harrison. We knew she was a big Hogs fan. And there was an offhanded bet that was made a couple of years ago when Ole Miss and Arkansas got paired into the College World Series bracket. And during that bet, the wager was, and I don't remember exactly what happens if Ole Miss were to have won that game, because Ole Miss didn't. Arkansas won that game, and Stan had to wear an Omahogs shirt at the Arkansas Airports Conference that year. And that's where everything started. So after that, we did have a full, this is now our third football season year with the bet. The first year, Ole Miss did win, and Judy did raise the Ole Miss flag at the Boone County Regional Airport, but she only raised it halfway up the pole because she said a part of me died that day. And then last year, everybody remembers what an exciting game that was. Arkansas ended up winning, and because of that, Southern Airways had to offer $5 tickets to everybody in Harrison. And that was a huge success. This year, I've seen enough of these Ole Miss Arkansas games to know that you never know what's going to happen. And this was one of those years where Both teams were good. Even before the 2-point conversion play, in the back of my mind, it's like, I'm an Ole Miss fan. I've seen this way too many times. We're about to lose another 2-point conversion to Arkansas. I was in the stadium 20 years ago at Vaught Hemingway in Oxford when the 7 overtime game took place between Arkansas and Ole Miss, with Eli Manning as quarterback for Ole Miss and Matt Jones for Arkansas. So I've seen those thrillers. I have seen those upsets, and it seemed like this past weekend, for the first time, Ole Miss was on the winning side of one of those thriller upsets. And we will be raising the Ole Miss flag at the Arkansas airport on the Thursday of the Chamber After Hours event. And we could even have a ceremonial lowering of the flag at the end of the event.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, it is a very fun promotion, and it's great for both airports. This year, Southern Airways is an official sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're in the game day program. With that came some tickets that we're giving away at various promotions throughout the state. Southern Airways does not do that for any other school, but because we have such a great presence in the state of Arkansas with our 3 Arkansas airports, we thought this was a great marketing opportunity to team up with the Hogs. So we're excited about that, and it's something that we will continue to do for years to come.
Really cool. Okay, so let's get back to the actual business after hours, which is October 21st. It's coming up, 4:30 start time, obviously at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
What could people expect? You've already mentioned the flag, so that'll get some people all riled up a little bit, but it'll be fun, right? All in good sport. But what else could people expect at the business after hours?
Well, despite what Stan has told Judy, I have not located former members of the Ole Miss band who live in the Northwest Arkansas area to come out and play the Ole Miss fight song as the flag is lowered that evening. So that has not happened. I'm not saying that Stan will not dictate to me that it must happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So separate of that, it'll be very similar to the other events that we've had at the airport in years past. Of course, we did not do one in 2020, but in years past, the Chamber After Hours event has been a very successful event for us at the airport. All of the Chamber members, community leaders come out. We invite the general public to come out. Actually, we want as many people there as we can. We have catering. Jamie's Catering has been our caterer for a number of years now. They are going to be our caterer this year as well. We'll have a variety of craft beers and local wine for everybody to choose from while we're there, along with soft drinks and bottled water. So it'll be a nice snack before everybody gets ready to go to dinner. And while we're there, we'll be doing some giveaways, of course, trip giveaways.
You know, if someone's watching this and this is their first interaction or their first introduction to Southern Airways, what would you want to tell them?
So Southern Airways, a lot of people think of the aircraft and they see that 9-seat aircraft. They get a little nervous about that. But here's what I would tell you. Think of the way rich people fly. Rich people fly on private aircraft. And this is the closest that the average person is ever going to get to that private aircraft experience. Imagine going to an airport where you don't have to take your shoes off, you don't have to stand in a long TSA line, and you get on an airplane just like you own the airplane. That's what flying Southern Airways is. So it's a private style flying experience for the general public. And typically, when people are nervous about flying on that small aircraft for the first time, they get off on the other end and they're high-fiving the pilots, and they never want to go back to doing it the other way. While these are 9-seat aircraft, these are very big 9-seat aircraft. So when you're sitting in a seat in the cabin on one of our aircraft, you can have your legs crossed. You can have, you have an armrest on one side of you with an aisle. You have a window on the other side of you. So you're never sharing a dual seat with somebody that you don't know. So every seat's an aisle seat, every seat's a window seat. Your personal space on this aircraft is greater than the personal space that you would find on a regional jet that's operated by Delta Airlines. So I encourage everybody to give it a chance. I know you're going to love it because everybody else does.
We have enjoyed it, and it's been really nice. Exactly what you described of just rolling up. I think we literally high-fived the pilots. My wife made fun of me because I wanted to high-five the pilot and tell him good job flying, because I sat right behind him. It was cool. So I was fascinated by the whole thing. So thanks for giving me some of your time here. And
my pleasure.